Yesterday, we started the review of the factor of mindfulness, right mindfulness. We've taken a look at the first component out of four of the four foundations of mindfulness, contemplation of the body. We started with mindfulness of breathing, which involves four basic steps. The first two is to note whether your breath is a long breath or is it a short breath. The next step, the third step, you can follow through the breath through this entire course of its movement from beginning of an inhalation, when you breathe in, through its intermediary stages, and the middle, and then all the way to the end, when you have fully breathing in, and then when you switch to the beginning of an exhalation, through its intermediary stages all the way to the end, and then repeat again. This step is called clearly perceiving the entire breath body. The last step is a more advanced, when you mindfulness grows even sharper. It's called calming the bodily function. Progressively, your breath will quiet down. Its associated bodily functions, they will become extremely fine and subtle. Here the text further says, beyond these four basic steps, there are more advanced practices which direct mindfulness of breathing towards deep concentration and insight. Let's take a look at the footnotes. This is taken from Visuddhimagga. Okay. The next step after mindfulness of breathing is something that we can apply on a daily basis. At every moment, we can extend this mindfulness. This exercise is called mindfulness and clear comprehension. Sati Sampajanya. In addition to bare awareness, we add an element of understanding. Understanding of what? When performing any action, one performs it with full awareness or clear comprehension. These are some of the examples. Going and coming. Looking ahead and looking aside. Whether you bend or whether you stretch. When you dress up, eating, drinking, urinating, defecating, falling asleep, waking up, speaking, remaining silent. All of this, this is not exhaustive, but just some of the example, all become occasions for the progress of meditation when done with clear comprehension. So another way to look at this is also to think, how many times have you been in an autopilot mode? For me, actually most of the time I'm in autopilot mode. Firstly, when I wake up in the morning, I instantly grab my phone, without thinking much, and then very reflexively just scroll through whether there are any messages. Another way that I'm on autopilot is that when something bad happens, sometimes the reflex comes that bad words would come out of my mouth reflexively. Like something like, oh no, or oh, other bad words. Yeah. So this is how I'm on autopilot. I don't have this mindfulness and clear comprehension. And someone told me, Sayale Sujata, if you remember, she told me it's the enlightened ones. They are the ones who have 100% mindfulness. They are always aware of what they are doing. So for wordlings like us, how many percent? Yeah, only you will know. Yeah? Each individual has a different level of mindfulness. So that's the mindfulness and clear comprehension. Yeah, I'm not going to go through this commentary. I'll move on to the next one. The next two sections on mindfulness of the body present analytical contemplations intended to expose the body's real nature. One of these is the meditation on the body's unattractiveness. The other one, dividing the body into the four primary elements. The first one, meditation on unattractiveness, helps to counter infatuation with the body, especially in its form of sexual desire. Why do we need to counter this desire? Because the Buddha teaches that sexual drive is a manifestation of craving, thus the cause of suffering, cause of dukkha, has to be reduced and extricated as a precondition for bringing suffering to an end. This meditation to weaken sexual desire by depriving the sexual urge of its cognitive underpinning, the perception of the body as sensually alluring. Sensual desire rises and falls together with this perception. How does it rise? It springs up when we feel the body as attractive. That's why we have the desire for it. But when we understand that the body, we understand that the nature of the body is unattractive, then the sensual desire declines, yeah? When this perception of beauty is removed. When we look at the body superficially, the perception of bodily attractiveness will last. Only grasp in terms of selected impressions. But to counter this perception, we have to take a look at a different angle and explore it on a deeper level. Okay, how exactly to do this meditation on unattractiveness? We take, firstly, our own body as an object. Yeah? Try not to take the opposite gender first, yeah? Because for beginners, we might fail when we start with the opposite gender, because we might end up being, entranced or attracted to the body of opposite gender instead. So how to do this exactly? Use visualization as an aid. One mentally dissects the body into its component one by one. Then take a look. Is it really attractive? The text mentions many 32 parts. Head hairs. Okay, when you go to barber or go to a salon, cut your hair. Tick, 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 tick. Then you can ask your hairstylist. After you finish cutting the hair, can you keep the hair for me? It's really attractive. I want to keep it for safekeeping. Maybe you have like a bag full of your hair from your from when you were a kid. Wow, we collect all the whole bag of hair. Oh, this is so attractive. I'll keep it all the way to the end of my life. Does anyone do that? Huh? Oh, so I can shake it.
Yeah, actually, not every time you go to the salon, but I know that girls with very long hair, and then they decided to cut it. Some of them really keep and plait it very nicely into a lock, and then they keep it as a remembrance. Yeah, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think there must be some people who maybe do that. Yeah. So I wonder if they really find the hair attractive. But well, guess then this would probably not work for them. Still, other than head hairs, there are still many other components you can try. If the head hairs doesn't work, maybe try body hairs there. What? Maybe the armpit hair. Does anyone keep their armpit hair? Yeah, I hope not. Okay, head hairs maybe still understandable. If someone will pluck armpit hair, pluck every day, put it in a table, get it, and then collect in the plastic. Oh, this is my armpit hairs from 10 years ago. Put it nicely, put it on the frame.
Asai Shifu always remind us, it's very funny, for hair, on the head you feel very nice, comb. Then once it drop on the, just our table, or more so, even worse, is on the floor, on the toilet, your whole liking or love for the hair different. It sort of disappeared immediately to become disgust. It's so funny. Our feeling to the hair is so conditional. I find that very amazing to myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially when it appears on, when you're eating, suddenly a strand of hair. The food that we think something so delicious suddenly becomes not so nice anymore. Shifu explained it in a much more comprehensive way, and of course in a humorous way. And he said he stayed with, I think his family is mostly ladies. So when showering, the ladies drop a lot of hair. So the drain will get clogged. Then the father will always scold them, why you never clean up the drain? Okay, thanks Billy for adding on. Okay, all of this, nails, teeth. And funnily enough, actually, when I was a kid, I actually kept my tooth that falls off. I was like, this is my tooth. I keep it for, I'm not sure how long, probably a few days. There's also something about tooth fairy, right? So if you keep your tooth under your pillow, and then you'll get money or something like that. Skin, skin is probably when we see it superficially from outer outer impression, when we look at someone, this is probably the most noticeable thing that we find attractive. But if you take this, if you imaginatively take this skin and then pile it, let's say on a table, will it still be attractive? Yeah, unlikely. Yeah. And but I think people put in a lot of effort to maintain their skin. Yeah, have to say, when I heard my friend bought a miracle water from SK2, she told me, and she was really proud of it. So, does any of you buy miracle water or SK2? No? Oh, wow. That's good. That's good. Can save money. And she told me the price is $100 plus. I was like, oh wow. How miraculous is this water? Can get people to spend a lot of money on it. Maybe I should create my own brand. Marcel 2, I call it magic water. When you put it on, you will get closer to enlightenment. Yeah, this magic water is basically just normal water. But when you realize that this is all a sham, a scam, and then you will get closer to reality. You will wake up. Okay, just kidding. Flesh, sinews, bones, marrow, kidneys. Yeah, I recall Venerable Ten Children mentioned humorously. Oh, that kidney, so lovely. I want to embrace it. Are you sure? Yes, he said. Heart, liver, diaphragm, spleen, lungs, large intestines, small intestines, stomach's contents, your stomach's content, excrement, whatever you put in the toilet when you defecate, brain, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, grease, snot, spittle, synovial fluid, and urine. Yeah, out of this, only a few we can directly observe, like urine, excrement, all of this outer head, hairs, body hairs, nails, teeth, skin. The rest of it, the ones that's inside, you can try to Google. Yeah, if you're really curious. There's one time I really document down these parts and take a look at one component one by one. And some people cannot take it, so I'm not going to show it here. Yeah. But if you're really curious, you can try to search for it. Or you can also message me. I can send you my what I found as well. The repulsiveness of the parts implies the same for the whole. The body seen close up is truly unattractive. Its beautiful appearance, a mirage. But the aim of this meditation is not to produce aversion and disgust, but a detachment, to extinguish the fire of lust by removing its fuel. This is again from Visuddhimagga, if you want more details. Okay, let's take, okay. I'm going to finish this part, contemplation of the body. The last one is to deal with the body in terms of the 4 elements, sets out to counter our innate tendency to identify with the body by exposing the body's essentially impersonal nature. How? We mentally dissect the body into 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and air. Each of these elements represents solidity, whether it's soft or whether it's hard. For example, skin is not so solid compared to your bones. The bones is the most solid, one of the most solid parts of our body. Fluidity, whatever fluid in your body, saliva, snot, urine, sweat, blood. Heat, whether your body is hot, whether your body is cold, and oscillation, whatever whatever that has a space inside your body. For example, your breath, the space in between your organs, and whatever air that can exist inside your body. Here it mentions for the solid part, organs, tissues, and bones. For the fluid part, in the bodily fluids, the heat element in body's temperature, the oscillation element in the respiratory process. Yeah, this is interesting, this line. Having analyzed the body into the elements, one then consider that all four elements, the chief aspects of bodily existence, are essentially identical with the chief aspects of external matters, with which the body is in constant interchange. For a quick example, when you breathe in, the breath actually comes from outside, external, and then it becomes your own breath, and then you breathe it out. So in that case, the body is always in constant interchange with external matter. When one realizes this, one ceases to identify with the body, ceases to cling to it. Why? Then we see that the body is nothing more than a particular configuration of changing material processes, which supports a stream of changing mental processes. There's nothing here that we can consider truly an existent self. Nothing can provide a substantial basis for the sense of personal identity. The very last paragraph is more like contemplation of death, a series of cemetery meditations, contemplation of the body's disintegration of the death, which may be performed either imaginatively with the aid of pictures or through direct confrontation with a corpse. This last exercise is the one that I frequently do as well, especially when I see the news, there's accident, tragic road accidents, and also not just in Singapore, but worldwide. Sometimes when you say this, it can be so shocking that it can lead you to, at least it leads me to a little bit of dispassion. The consideration that you can recite, this body now so full of life has the same nature and is subject to the same fate. It cannot escape death, cannot escape disintegration, but must eventually die and decompose. This paragraph concludes with, in the sight of a corpse, we meet the teacher who proclaims unambiguously, everything formed is impermanent. Okay, that's it for today. Any questions or comments? If not, let's do a dedication. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。To repeat again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have an unattractive Sunday ahead. Thanks everyone for participating. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.